Suppose you have to attend lecture or hearing for 100 times. Suppose we have done only 1 or 2 times. It still will be not a single part of it is ever in the Shastra said. If by some sentiment, Tattva Sadhanmam Charanambhajam Hare. Just like in our association, in the society, many men come, join, not exactly understanding what is Krishna consciousness, but out of sentiment. Let us done. Then know. Each have his own duty. Tattva Sadhanmam. Bhakta means living up. And adharma. Adharma means occupation and duty. Everyone has got occupation and duty. Generally, according to Vedic tradition, occupation and duties are divided according to quality. That is also, in the present age also, if one man is qualified as a medical man, he is allowed to practice as a medical man. If one man is qualified as an engineer, so every man has got some occupation and duty. So, Shastra says that out of sentiment, he gives a result. Tattva Sadhanmam Charanambhajam Hare, and takes to this Krishna consciousness. Let me done. That's all right. If anyone has joined this Krishna consciousness movement, let him become perfect. But it is sometimes so happens that Madanna Paputa Papita Purujani, the culture is not completed, but by some bad association, or bad association is already there, because the whole material nature is bad. It's not good. So, Bhajan, if one has joined this consciousness moment and let him execute the rules and regulations, then he is making progress. There is no doubt about it. But somehow or other, even all what is the abhortva? What is wrong in his politics? And a person who is occupied or engaged in his occupation and duty very nicely, what is the gain? That's right. One person out of sentiment gives us his occupation and duty and joins this consciousness movement and cannot make it perfect while in Krishna consciousness movement falls down. There are many instances. Still, he has no law. And this man, who is very beautiful and is exactly nicely executing his occupation and duty, so what is the gain? This man. So, he is this man who has joined Krishna consciousness out of sentiment. He will just fall down. Whatever he has done, that is permanent. He has done 1%. That 1% perfection is guaranteed. That next life will begin from the second step. It is shown that. Therefore, he has to say, Nasta Praya Survatri. Not that Inauspicity of material existence is completely finished. Even it is finished to certain percentage, not 100%. So, and what is the result? The result is the Bhagavati Uttamashruti he becomes a bona fide attack, although he cannot execute properly. Samara, not to pride, pride means almost, not simple, actually so much. You begin with simply hearing, and even if you fall down, still it is therefore we should take chance of hearing of that. As soon as possible, that we shall preach of life. It is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order that Haman Adnai Guru Hiya Karo Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing all over. That somebody became Vaishnava simply by seeing him, by hearing him, a man became a Vaishnava. So, this Supreme Personality of Godhead has so much power. So, some of them wanted to come to see that I don't like it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you remain in your place. There is no need of coming with me, but you become a Christian. Every one of you become a Christian. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amar Adhyay, by my order. You cannot become future master, all of it. There must be superior master, superior guru. If you say that now you have made, you have very careful. That means when one has received order from the guru, he can. But the order is open. Order is open, but it must be executed properly as it is commanded. What is that? Amara can do the salvation. There is no need of going out of home, out of country. Any place was stipulated that is also supported by our lifetime. Stanis Buddha, Buddha, Swami. You remain in your position. There is no need of changing your position. But if orders the words of the words are represented in the body, then your life the more you hear, the more you become advanced. Practically you are saying, all are reporting the beginning and now. There must be difference. How the difference is coming? Simply by hearing. Shruti. Shruti means hearing. So, our movement, non-sensual movement, does not say that you give up your occupational duty, give up your home, give up your family. No. There are many husbands, as we have got. Bhaktivedanta Thakur is there. You are the king. He did not give up his home, neither his job. You are just management government very often. But he became a great force by culture. What is that culture? Krishna Bhagavan. Simply, he was coming from his office that day, like this evening, and immediately he came that like go and go to sleep, and then we rise up and clear the mind and begin writing. So, he gave us so many nice books, and many short books in Bengali, in English, some of them in Sanskrit. So, you are used to engage. So, if anyone wants to serve Krishna, the Bhaktivedanta Thakur's life is a good example. Even by becoming a responsible government officer, he could become a very, very high group, provided he wants to carry out the order of Krishna. Therefore it is said, Nityam Bhagavata Srimad. Bhagavata is what comes from the word Bhagavat or Bhagavan. Bhagavan means basically being full of six opulence. Opulence is called Bhagavat. So, the Supreme Person is endowed out full six kinds of opulence. That is called Bhagavan. Every word in Sanskrit has got root meaning. Bhava means fortune or opulence, and Bhagavat, what is used in the sense of possession. When you possess something, then this word, this thing is both and both. Both becomes man, and both becomes Ba. Bhava, opulence, and Ba, Bhagavan. This is the analysis. And in connection with Bhagavan, the word Bhagavad. So this book, Bhagavad, and the devotee is also Bhagavad. So you will have to serve this book as well as the person. But Bhagavad, that is also confirmed in the Chaitanya. Guru Krishna Prabhupāda Bhaktivedanta Ki. That Bhagavad, person Bhagavad is Guru. And Krishna, Guru Krishna, he has to take favor, mercy of both. If you simply think that I take the mercy of my Guru, I don't care for Krishna. Now, he has to take favor of Krishna, or if you take the favor of Guru, then automatically you get the favor of Krishna. Just prasada Bhagavat. If you please your Guru, that means Krishna is Guru. Like you have got small child on your land. If somebody pleases a small child, then automatically you become free. Just like there is a proverb, if you love me, love my dog. Similarly, if you love the dog of Krishna, the servant of Krishna, is all is engaged in the service of Krishna, then Krishna becomes more free. What bhaktya puja purga, love of God, feeling, emotion, for Krishna, then you should adopt Krishna. You become a Bhagavad. Regular. Therefore, you see that you attend regularly the classes and hear about Krishna, then you become advanced in Krishna consciousness. Bhakti, bhakti, nasti. Unflinching, full stop, and bhakti, full stop. Where bhakti? Bhakti means Bhagavati is what Bhakti is used only in connection with Bhagavan. There are so many Bhaktis, they are manufactured. One is devoted to his family, one is devoted to his job, one is devoted to his country, society. There are different kinds of attachment. But here it is said, Bhakti Bhagavan. Bhakti, when you get your attachment to Bhagavan, then it is Bhakti, Bhagavan, and Bhakti. Bhagavan is there, and Bhakti is there, and that transaction between Bhagavan and Bhakti is performed. The impersonalists cannot understand what is Bhakti, because there is no duality. They do not believe in duality, Bhagavan and Bhakti. They believe that everything is one. There is no question of Bhakti in the impersonal realm of money. Bhakti is possible in duality. Nitya Nityana, that is the Vedic concept. Nitya, the Supreme Being, and the subordinate being. The subordinate beings are engaged in the service of the Supreme Being. That is one. So, in order to attain the perfection of this bhakti, devotional service, one has to begin with Srimad Bhagavatam, and by hearing and hearing, Rashtrapraya to Abhadra, inauspicious desire. What is that inauspicious desire? They told me, one who wants to become happy by working hard in this material world, they are called poor. Everyone is trying, earning more money, more. Vrindaban, Kudumbam Kudumbam. Viva, daytime. The only business is the daytime is engaged. Viva, start. Viva, so up to your house. Where is money? Where is money? In your country, big city. All nice motor cars and driving vehicles. For you purpose. Where is money? Where is money? Viva, Ācārya. Then if you have got money, then what you do? Kudumba. Kudumba means family, wife, children, relatives, how to provide them, how to give them the money, the food, our countrymen, the Kudumba, The whole day is spoiled in this way. By driving cars this and that way, and his money is lost. Then for maintenance of the family, then remains what is it? 9 Nidra Yatinatma, like her sleeping, or Bhavana Savava, or sex life. So this is the business of both. At night, sleeping or sex life, and at daytime, get money and spend it for food. Then where is Krishna come? Where is Krishna come? Where is Buddha? What he told me? That he told me that describing this after Mura. Mura means yes. Why yes, they are so intelligent, working hard, but what for? Sense. Nuram Puramatta Purute because Jadindriya Pritaya Apunoti. Their business is they have become mad to earn money and spend. Nuram Puramatta. What is the purpose? Sense getting. In France, in Paris, old men, 75 years old, 40 years old, they go to the night. They purchase tickets to enter the night club, $50. Then they select the four partners and wine bottle, another 300,000. So, this is the Kurmi life. He does not know that why I am laboring so hard and why I am spending money unnecessarily and senselessly. Mula Nabhijanati, Mami Vaparamapayam. Everything is there in our literature. Read Bhagavad Gita, all the Bhagavatam, and life is successful. So, here one thing is suggested, Nityam Bhagavatam. Daily, daily read Bhagavatam and try to serve the first Bhagavatam, your spiritual master. And study thought, whatever is said, just try to do it. Otherwise, life is fun. Sadhu, Durvasam, or Bhaktimarga is the first business is Sadhu Durvasam, the Dharma Diksha. The first beginning is to accept the spiritual master and inquire from him about advancement of spiritual life and arrival. This is called Bhagavad. Nityam Bhagavad. This is to be done regularly. Nityam Bhagavad. Then, Bhagavati Uttama. Hey, Uttama. Uttama means transcendent. Ut means transcendent. And Tama. Tama means darkness. Tama means darkness, means ignorance, also this material world. Tama. It is dark. Because it is dark, therefore this Krishna has given us the sun or the moon. Without sun, without moon, it is dark. Just like at night, it is dark. That is its natural position. That is called Tama. Tama means darkness or ignorance. So, Bhagavan is Uttama. Uttama means above the dark. Parastasmat Bhava. There is another kingdom or another nature which is not Tama, dark. That is stated in the point. There is no need of sunshine. There is another nature. This nature, there is need of sunshine. Najatra bhasati surya. Where there is no need of sunshine. There is no need of moon. There is no need of electricity. That is Najatra bhasati surya nam prasanta nabhavata. We find this Bhagavad. There is no need of these things, lighting. Because as here within this universe, we have got only one planet shining, this sun planet. In the spiritual world, all the Vaikuntha planets, they are shining. And because all of them shining, the whole nature there is shining, that is called Brahma Jyoti. So, we have got all the information, what is the spiritual world, what is the material world, why we are in the material world, why we are subjected under birth, death, old age and disease. So as we go on hearing this kind of Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavata we hear everything, complete